The other day, UCLA, actually UC Merced, contacted me, and they had an intervarsity group that wanted to come to Fresno and look at some of the areas that we have. And one of the things they wanted to do was to also be part of the water project. Mm-hmm. So we're going down to the area that you mentioned out there by Poverello House, which I think is a dichotomy. How do you have Poverello House that's supposed to serve the underserved, underprivileged, and you got all these tents outside? So that just goes to show you that that's overwhelming even for them to deal with, folks, if you got tents out there. And so I'm walking down there with these 15 students, and I hear someone call out my name, Dr. Kennedy. I thought, okay, who knows me in the homeless camp? You know, by name, that is. So I'm like, okay. And then this person comes really running towards me, and she says, Dr. Kennedy, do you know who I am? And I said, have I seen you somewhere before? Because they've shifted these camps from place to place. Mm-hmm. She says, Dr. Kennedy, I took a women's studies class from you a few years ago. Mm-hmm. Well, at that point, I thought, you got to be kidding. This is a former student? Mm-hmm. So I then, sat with her, and I had this young man with me, and because I said, we got to get these things. Anything we're doing from here on out, got to get it on camera, get it somewhere, so we can let it tell. These talks about telling the story. And so as it turns out, this young lady got sick during one of the semesters and had to drop out. And then as a result of that, she ran through all that red tape, paying back her money to financial aid, etc. And then she was doing in-home care, but because she was so sick, she could no longer continue that job. So one thing led to the other, to which now she stayed in her car, and then the car got evicted, all kinds of things. So she ended up finding herself being totally isolated. Mm-hmm. And for her not knowing anybody, going to the homeless camp was where she could at least have people around her to protect her. Mm-hmm. That's a concept within itself that didn't even come into my mind, that they actually have people are actually there just for company. Mm-hmm. So then when she began to talk about where she was at, and I thought, well, what about all these other things to kick in? And she said to me, Dr. Kennedy, she goes, I am not sick enough to get Social Security.
But sick to work.
But too sick to work, too sick to come back to school, to get into the system, but I'm not sick enough to get Social Security.
Life out here, it's very hard and it's very dangerous. Because there are people who bother you all the time, like sexually bother you all the time. They think your house is theirs and that it's an open market, meaning whatever is yours and inside the tent is theirs, and that they can help themselves whenever they want to. The law doesn't really help us out here because this is suburban Fresno. And this is almost like a ghost town, so they don't really come out here and help us a whole lot. And there's trouble. It's like they could care less. So we're basically out here to fend for ourselves. And what brought me out here was I had a job, and they told me probably whenever my friend passed away, that was going to be it. Because they found out, well, I'm disabled, and they probably have to pull my license. Well, he passed away about 5 years ago. And sure enough, they said I'm too disabled to work, so they pulled my license. And the only work I've ever done in my life is nursing and housekeeping, and like at Motel 6. And I like to clean them and that. They pulled my license because they say I can't work no more. Now I'm too disabled myself and I need a helper myself. So they pulled my license, and that was that. With the Motel 6, when they changed the law to where you have to, I'm sorry, the sun is in my eyes.
I'm sorry.
You
We'll
have
go
to,
over here.
you have to use the concentrates like the Pine Sol, the Lysol, full strength. I had asthma, and I can't breathe at full strength, and they won't let us dilute it down. And also they changed it to where, it's like instead of having your work cart on the top and the bottom, then you just have the one work cart, and you have to be able to drag it all the way up the stairs with everything on it. You have to be able to drag it all the way upstairs, do the work, and then drag it back down. As you can see, I'm short. I mean, I am like short. The cart is almost as big as I am.
Right.
So I'm like gonna drag it up there. I do the work and drag it back. When I have like my bones and muscles, or like from injuries from my lower back on down, it's like hurt and rolled and cracked. Now I hurt my hip a few times. A wild dog, about like 1998 or 99 or somewhere in there. Might have been in the 88 or 89. A wild child by the Rainbow Bakery bit into my hand. She just had puppies. The people at the molding place forgot to tell me this, right? Make sure. She went all the way down. She had bone, muscle, and nerve. I can't really see it now, but that like right up in there is where her canine tooth bit me. You can see her tooth mark. Or you can see like that. Right up in there is her tooth mark. And she took everything. So now I can't really use this hand. It's just there. I want to amputate, but I'm not brave enough to let him. You know,
really?
I'm self-supporting, so without my, without my body parts, how am I supposed to do anything?
Exactly. What was life like for you before you came here?
I was able to pay my bills. I was able to pay my rent, to keep housing, to keep food, just live like normal. And now, I don't know, I'm like falling apart, I guess you could say. Now I'm like barely making it. I don't have no income. I can't find work, and so food is hard. I live off of general leave right now because the doctor said I'm disabled from work. He doesn't want me to work. So I live off of $38 a month in cash aid and $200 in food stamps a month. And that is my sole income. So
what about your family? Do you have?
I don't have no family. I'm here by myself.
What was your family like beforehand? Did you have the support of any family before?
I had my one brother and there was 5 in my family. There was my one brother and 4 girls. My brother was killed at the age of 22 because he got messed up with drugs, and he kept playing with the drug lord, and I kept sending him money. He went up to Washington twice to try to help him, and he just kept messing up. So they did him, and they brandished him, they beat him, they sexually assaulted him, they did everything mean and ugly you could think of to him when he's only 22. Then there's me, and then one of my sisters has passed away. I don't know which one of them. I know it's not my baby sister because I just got a hold of her a few months ago from the internet through my friend Carmen Naomi Sosa. My sister Elaine, who's 2 years younger than me, I don't know what happened to her. My middle sister Arvina. They haven't kept in contact in years. They moved and asked me not to keep in contact with them because they were having trouble.
What about your parents? Did you?
I was taken away from my biological mother at the age of 4 years old. Only seen my biological mother 4 times since then, twice as a child and twice as an adult. Right before I moved here in 1987, I got to meet her for the last time. She died at the age of 40 from diabetes and cancer. So she looked very old, and her skin was like really saggy, and it's like had like warts on it, like bumps on it. But the bumps kind of find out they weren't warts, they were from cancer
And tumors, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know what they were, but I was just barely like 22 years old then. And she died from diabetes. I come to find out diabetes and cancer runs in my family. So.